Right, now to start the rig, this terminal here is not earthing perfect, so you might want to look at that. This blue lead here I use as the glow plugs, because the switch, I haven't got time to put the switch back on. So hold that on for about 10 seconds and then start. This lever here is a breakout ram. This second lever, can't remember what it's for. So for the stabilizer rams, this one does the front. This one does the rear right, this one does the rear left, and this is the breakout ram. Just those controls. This control here does the right handler, up and down. This next one slides it in and out. This one here does injector pump. This one here does the winch. This is rotation. This is the travel. This one here lifts the boom up. When you are traveling, this valve I use for gravity feed. This is a needle. This is the ball valve for gravity feed. This is a needle valve for gravity feed. This, I remember, was for rotation, reduce rotation, but I never use it. Or reduce, goes for up and down pressure. This is for rotation pressure. I never use them. This here, that's the drill. This one here is drill boost. Speeds it up. Now this top control here will divert the hydraulic flow to gravity flow. So you turn that one way and it pumps, the other way it is gravity. I use the gravity feed when I use, and I control the gravity feed with this, with these valves. You'll figure it out. This gives boost to the lift, the head feed. So for traveling faster, that's slower. This is for your injector pump. The injector pump is here. I use this to prime it if it unprimes. That turns it on. This adjusts your flow of injector. That's an electric pump. Little 12-volt pump I use to prime the injector pump. Doesn't always work. So this is your air line. This is your mud line. So you got return. You don't need to use the three-way valve if you don't use it, but I use a three-way valve for mixing and for pumping. So pump came in here. I put this handle, this bar on there, because that gets a bit hard to handle that valve. Turn it, So inlet, pump inlet in there, divert out there back to the tank when you're changing the rods, and then turn around back there into line, making sure that valve there is open. There's a little oil leak there, and I just noticed. Turn off, pull that cable. That cable turns it off. If it gets hot, you have a thermofan or manual switch. This switch is for the little 12-volt primary injector pump. Doesn't connect sometimes, you might want to look at that. This one here is for the fuel pump. There's a little fuel pump. I seldom use it, but it helps to prime it if you ever run out of diesel. And that was for the glow plugs, but it's this, the wire's fallen off, so I haven't worried about it. This I use for the diesel tank, which you might want to change, but it does the job. This one here, I've mixed my water in here, and I normally tip the foam in there. Got water in there. It's got a little bit in there. Now, what to keep an eye on? This here, if you can, I will change this. It's not a good coupling. I never got round to doing it because I've got the other rig now. These are a couple of old couplings that were in there. That, just so you know what you're looking at. That's an old buggered one. I couldn't find any others I had lying around. If you overwork it, sometimes it can strip in here, and sometimes it can do the front seal in the hydraulic pump here. That's the only two things to keep an eye on in here, not to overdo it, and that's what I would recommend, getting that other engine and making a better setup with that. There's a third pump on the front here that's run. Oh, those belts will have to be fixed. I've only just seen that. I'm sorry about that, I didn't see that. So that's going to just be a little job, but it's need new belts. Now the rod loader, I've got it sitting on there. Now that will come off, and there's a pin in here. Pull that out. Pull this out and rotate it, and put the pin back in here. With a split, with a little lock pin there, and then where the pin is on that sits in here, because the whole arm will pivot on there. It stays like that, and then the rest of it sits on here. So this will come out, this pin. I've only put this in so you can travel. Normally I just leave it on. When you are loading rods, you pull it out that far, there's a hole there for the pin to go through. You pull it out like that, and this bar for loading the rods will stay in parallel with the truck when you roll the rod onto it. And then once the rod's onto it, then you drag the beam back here, where the rod comes down, and you line it up with this rod loader. It should be fairly easy. Don't forget you've got these two cyclones to take. You also have this Perkins engine for the deck engine. I don't know much about this. I know it runs. I think it needs just a fuel filter or something. Can't remember. I haven't even looked at it, haven't had time. Now you've got quite a nice sized pump there. All this gear is yours. This is from Wallace. I don't know the condition of any of this stuff, but this is a nice gear pump which I would use for your drive head, for your drill head. I would put this pump on the back of this engine. I'd get a proper mounting bell housing, and get a funk box, a twin funk box, so you have twin drive, so you can drive this pump here and the other two pumps that are on the rear of the current setup. That way you will have, because the only weak point on that rig is the drive needs a little bit bigger flow. So with it pumped there, and you put a bigger drive motor on that one there, you should have plenty of power. Especially if you start doing bigger diameter holes. There is 2 sub adapters, crossover subs, here for you. They are 3.5 regular box, both of them, and 2 7/8 regular pin, both of them, both with caps on the end.